I did have a brief experience with my son. We didn't know what was going to happen. Long story short, had a bench pressing accident and ended up with 30% of his pancreas left. But he was in and out of the hospital for 6 weeks. It sounds like it was only 6 weeks, right? Some women, some mothers, they're in caregiver roles for years, for decades. And it's like, and I know people in my life who have been in those shoes, and I look back and I'm like, it was only 6 weeks, but man, to my body, and that experience at the time, it felt like 6 years. And I didn't realize the impact of that actually until this past year. Like, there was still emotional residue left from that experience. I still, to this day, the hospital, and it was over a 3-hour drive to the hospital that he had to go to because no one close would take his case. And every time I see that hospital, it's still this PTSD. It brings me back to that experience. So I understand what you were saying in that regard. So I have deep respect and empathy for the caregivers who, like you, show up every single day, because it is self-love or self-sacrifice and a level of love that those on the receiving end, it's a gift. It's really a gift.
I think when you're talking about the emotional residue that's left over from any traumatic or emotionally charged experience, it's so resonated so truly with me when you said that, driving past the hospital, having experiences that bring us back. And there was a American TV program called Amsterdam, and one of my children had an AVM rupture in his brain, and it was a couple of years later. And as a caregiver, you do, when you're aware that something has caused emotional distress, tears that you've had to hide, fear that someone's not going to pull through, you do try and address it so that it doesn't linger and create additional distress in new situations that are most likely going to occur. And they had children on there who had the same thing. And I was sitting on the couch bawling my eyes out because it brought me right back to that room, the diagnosis, them telling you that this information. And I was talking with someone this morning, and they talked to me about the bad news room in hospitals that they take you to away from your loved one so they don't hear what the bad news is, and they take you into very clinical, very, no comfort, it's very harsh lighting, harsh, everything. And it is really a bad room to be told information. And when you get taken in there, you're like, okay, bracing. But there is not even support in that space. There's nobody saying, hey, we know this is going to be devastating, and we know as a parent you're going to have to pull your P's and Q's together and push through and pretend like everything's hunky-dory so that you're not terrifying your loved one. And that's one of the hardest parts, is that caregivers lose things too. Not because they're selfish as life progresses. And I wanted to talk about the invisible losses. What are some of the most common ones you see in caregiving? If I could give you some examples around identity, friendship or social loss, marriage and partnership intimacy, career momentum, financial safety. One of the big ones is health, sleep, nervous system, steadiness, and what's the future going to look like